Well, I was born in my grandmother's house on the south side of the tracks, right outside Fort Smith, Arkansas in 1939. That was right at the end of the Depression, and lived there for about 2 years. And my father and one of my uncles hopped a freight train from Fort Smith and came to Bakersfield to get work because there wasn't a lot of work back there at that time. And they made a place for themselves here, sent for my mom and me. So I had to be 3 or 3.5. And we settled here in Bakersfield and been here ever since. And I moved into a little place on Ohio Drive, which is down around South Millham. And I went to the first class at Casa Loma School. Then I moved to the east side and I went to Washington Junior High School when it was at the education, where the Education Center is now. And then I went to Sierra Junior High School, which was the first class that they had at Sierra Junior High School. Well, I was excited and certainly probably a little naive, but my next door neighbor was about 3 years older than me. And he would bring me to the boxing matches that they would have every year at East High, and he'd sometimes bring me to a football or basketball game. So I had some exposure to the school campus before I came here. Well, I played all 3 sports all through high school. I belonged to, called the Celtics. It was a new club and then they had the car club, the Coachman. So I was fairly active on campus. But I enjoyed the whole high school process, the social part, but probably what stood out most was the sports. Oh, well, the last 2 years, I lettered in all 3 sports, both years. A Valley Championship in baseball. We had a very good football team, but there was a school over on California that was always a little better. We played for the Valley Championship 2 years in a row, junior year and senior year. And we, in basketball, we were middle of the road. We didn't have a lot of height. But one year we were the only team in the Valley to beat Taft. That's back when they had Bob Hampton and had a very good team. And baseball, I had the opportunity of playing with Johnny Callison, and I'd known Johnny for years and had some really good players. We had a very good coach with Les Carpenter. Of course, had all 3 of my coaches. I don't know whether you, at the very time that it's occurring, that you really realize how much of an impact they had on your life. But as you mature and later on in life, you really, really appreciate some of life's lessons that they taught us. And they were all ethical and honest and straight up with you all the time. I never really knew what direction that I was going to take. I knew I was going to go on to school, or that's what I'd planned to do. And I went one semester at Bakersfield College, and then I volunteered for the draft and spent 2 years in the Army. And I came back from the military and I was married, and I had 3 children. And my daughter died from a brain tumor in the mid-60s. And shortly thereafter I went to work with the Highway Patrol. But I worked with the Highway Patrol until 1970, and then I quit there and came to work for the Bakersfield Police Department, where I worked for 32 years and retired in 2001. My wife died in 1988, and I remarried about 2.5 years later, and we have a blended family and very prolific family. We have 27 grandchildren, I have 8 great-grandchildren, and I have another great-grandchild that'll be born here on the 25th of this month. And they really keep you busy, keep you hustling around, but it's been a lot of fun watching my grandchildren. I was really surprised because I was a good athlete, but I wasn't a great athlete. I mean, I played with some great athletes. I mean, Johnny Callison obviously comes to mind first, but I played with a lot of really, really good athletes and enjoyed every minute of it.